Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I am here on the show to talk about LSU beating Ole Miss 29-26 reaction. What a hell of a game here. LSU wins the game in overtime. I think Ole Miss only got a field goal. LSU got a touchdown to win it. Big win for LSU. Garrett Nussmeier to Kyron Lacy. That was a big finish for Nussmeier, man. What an ending. Like, LSU's a good team, and LSU actually come from behind in this game. Comes from behind, beats Ole Miss and Baton Rouge for the 8th straight time. Ole Miss, man, this is why I picked LSU to win, because I guess Ole Miss can't win those, but they just can't win these big games, man. Lane Kiffin, talks all that trash. He can't win these big games. This team just can't win these good games. Just want to win for Brian Kelly and LSU. Ole Miss, look, they're a good football team, but now they got 2 losses. I don't know if they're gonna even make the playoffs this year, man. I feel like LSU's gonna mess around, make the college football playoff, possibly this year, man. LSU, but they didn't hold an edge in most categories tonight, but they won a hugely important battle against Ole Miss tonight, I thought. Garrett Nussmeier was sacked 0 times. Against the number 1 pass rush in the nation coming this week. Ole Miss's pass rush had been one of the best in college football this year. LSU's offensive line held up really well. Like, they didn't hold an edge in most categories, but this was the most huge, important battle, and their offensive line come up to the test. And LSU in overtime to win a 15th straight game at home at night. Like, they're one of the toughest places to play in college football. And just Ole Miss is a good football team, but they struggle to put teams away, man. Tough win. It's tough to win in Death Valley at night. The Tigers just keep coming. They don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming. And they got it to OT, and eventually they got the win. But Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss, man, you hate to see it. Ole Miss may be complete shit, though. That might be generous calling them good. But yeah, the game started off really slow. First quarter, neither team scored. But in the second quarter, the offense started to roll. Ole Miss scored 17 points. LSU scored 13 points. It was 17-13 at the half. Both teams tacked on field goals in the third quarter. Ole Miss was up 20-16 after the third quarter. But then Ole Miss got another field goal in the fourth quarter, but LSU got a touchdown. Ended up sending it to overtime, and Ole Miss, they only managed a field goal to start overtime, and LSU threw a pass to win it. And LSU is a good football team, man. Like, I really like their team. Garrett Nussmeier is really good, having a really good season. Tonight, he didn't have a great game overall, the 2 interceptions, only 22-51. Before this game, I thought he'd had a really good start to the year. Each team had 2 total turnovers. Ole Miss had a fumble and an interception, so the both turnovers really didn't hurt either team, because 2 total turnovers for each team. But what hurt Ole Miss, 12 penalties for 110 yards. And I thought I'd seen Kentucky play undisciplined. Ole Miss, 12 penalties for 110 yards. They were really good on third down, 11-22, LSU 6 of 16. Ole Miss done a really good job running the football, 180 yards. Both teams about pretty identical yards per play, identical on first downs, same on fourth downs. But it's just the penalties that come back to hurt them, and Ole Miss just couldn't put LSU away, and LSU hung in there, ended up winning it, and improved to 5-1. Ole Miss drops to 5-2. Jackson Dart, 24 of 42, 284, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Pretty average game from Jackson Dart tonight. Started the season really strong. I think Kentucky against LSU, he hasn't really looked that great. 284 yards, but he just looked average. Euless Bentley the 4th, IV, is that the Roman numeral number? 11 runs, 107 yards, 9.7 to carry, 1 touchdown. Felt like the running game was working for Ole Miss. I don't know why they kind of went away from Euless Bentley, or how you say his name. Henry Parrish, 14 runs, 42 yards. He really struggled to get going tonight. Caden Lee, 9 catches, 132 yards. Trey Harris, 7 catches, 102 yards and a touchdown. I don't know if Ole Miss fans will be fooled into believing they are that good anymore. Because I thought this is one of the best Ole Miss teams they'd had. But they end up losing. But it's just Ole Miss. Trey Harris and Henry Parrish were out. Penalties lead to a 2nd and 25 and OT for Ole Miss. And a near career-long field goal wasn't enough to stop them. I don't know if players were injured there at the end. I don't know what happened to Trey Harris. He was not in the drive. For those last 2 drives, I think in the 4th quarter, he wasn't in the game, and he was slow to leave the field after a vertical route, then went to the medical tent. Maybe it was a hip injury. I don't know. But yeah, Jackson Dart just struggles when he doesn't have Trey Harris out there, man. That's another thing I know. He really struggles not having him. Cade Davison made that 57-yard field goal wasn't enough to win. So Ole Miss drops to 5-2. LSU, they didn't run the football very well, but Nussmeier had 337 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 22 of 51. Even though he struggled most of the game, he got a touchdown to get the walk-off. So he really needed that. Yeah, he completed 43% of his throws and had 2 interceptions, but his last 2 passes were touchdowns. That was the key thing, though. He bounced back from those interceptions and ended up winning the game for LSU. Durham, 12 runs, 37 yards. Nussmeier, 2 for 16. Josh Williams, 3 for 9 for 34. They really struggled to run the ball, but they passed the ball very well. Kyron Lacey is one of the most underrated receivers, I think, in college football. Tommy! 5 catches, 111 yards, 1 touchdown. Aaron Anderson. What is happening? 3 catches, 81 yards. Mason Taylor, 5 catches, 43 yards. Josh Williams, 3 catches, 43 yards. Xavier Thomas, 2 catches, 36 yards. Caden Durham, 3 catches, 11 yards. And Trey Diaz Green, 1 catch, 12 yards, and a touchdown. Each kicker was 3 of 4. LSU improves to 5-1. They're definitely going to jump Ole Miss in the rankings. They'll definitely be in the top 10 this week with this 29-26 overtime victory. And if you're an Ole Miss fan, you're probably scratching your head leaving tonight. Because you forced Garrett Nussmeier, who's good in my opinion, to 43% completion percentage, 2 interceptions. You're like, we're going to win this football game here, but then you end up losing in overtime, so they might need to look themselves in the mirror, probably scratching their ass tonight. And that was just a growth game there at the end for Nussmeier getting those touchdowns to win it. Ole Miss, man, I really thought they would have a really good shot possibly at the playoffs this year, but I don't know, man. Even if they do make it, they'll probably barely sneak in. And if they do make it, they're going to lose. It was fourth in the game. It was 4th and something. And Garrett Nussmeier threw a touchdown to Aaron Hernandez. Oh my lord. Aaron Anderson. It was 4th and something. And they threw a touchdown to tie it. But yeah, no place like that Tiger Stadium, man. You can't beat them at home, I swear. It was 4th and 5 at like the 23, and they threw a touchdown to tie it. What a game. 29-26. What a hell of a day for college football. A lot of close games. So yeah, it's all to say for tonight. So leave a like, comment, subscribe for more. Until next time out. Peace.